week. Now, the problem many firms are facing is due to the slowdown in manufacturing and demand in other sectors. John Martin of the Road Haulage Association in Northern Ireland is on the line. John, good morning. I suppose this fall in demand, it's essentially resulted in many companies sending empty containers across the Irish Sea at great expense.
Yes, good morning, Richard. Certainly an emerging trend towards the end of last week was that companies are reporting a significant drop-off in loads being taken to and coming back from Europe and GB. And the whole pricing structure of the industry is based on a full load going out and a full load coming back again. So in essence, with one load being cancelled, there's significant losses being incurred by some of our bigger operators within Northern Ireland.
And this problem only seems to have come to light over the weekend, because we weren't talking about this at any point last week, even up to Friday.
Yes, well, some people had mentioned it to me sort of towards the middle to the end of last week, Richard, but it's something that's just really taken effect since the major lockdown that started at the start of last week. Companies were just starting to realise that a lot of manufacturing businesses had shut up shop. They were cancelling loads. And so the haulage companies were just beginning to realise that where they had a load out and a load back, one of the loads was cancelled, and maybe they had to then send the vehicle out to the likes of Holland or Belgium or Spain to get a load of fruit or a load of vegetables. And I say they weren't getting paid for the other part of the journey.
And what sort of impact is this going to have if we have, as we've been warned this morning, some of the local bigger firms saying by the end of the week we're going to reduce our fleet or put drivers on furlough? What will that do?
Well, it's subject to the nature of the work that they're doing, but it has, I think, the potential to impact on the supply chain to a significant extent. You can just imagine some of the companies here reaching 200, 250 trucks. Those vehicles are on the road nearly 24/7. If that product isn't being brought into the province, be it essential vital supplies of foodstuffs or whatever, you potentially could see empty shelves that won't be replenished.
John, this has been raised at local government level, but I understand that there meetings are taking place between the industry and the UK government later.
Yes, the RHA has been very active in relation to lobbying central government to see what can be done. We submitted a very detailed paper to central government last week in relation to what type of support or intervention the government needs to make in order to avoid this happening. And we are talking about days as opposed to weeks. So really we do need an immediate decision this week to ensure that the transport industry, but in essence everything that we eat or consume, wear, use, is transported by trucks. And if that doesn't happen, there'll be a significant impact on society generally.
And John, in terms of what you're looking for, is it financial aid? Because Minister Mallon was just on the line there, and she's already made moves to relax certain rules to ease things for the haulage industry already through this crisis.
Well, certainly that's what we're looking to central government for, is some form of immediate intervention to support the UK freight sector that addresses these immediate pressures. But central government also needs to recognise that Northern Ireland is slightly different in that if we're sending a truck to Europe and bringing it back again, we have 4 sea journeys as opposed to someone in GB who would only have 2. So there's additional pressures that probably is coming to the fore, more so in Northern Ireland quicker than what it is in GB. But in addition to that, Richard, and some of the suppliers, whenever the hauliers have contacted suppliers to increase their rates to cover the cost, the suppliers are saying no, that they're not prepared to renegotiate the contracts. So that the operators are continuing to run on half of their income, which is not sustainable in the short term.
All right, John Martin from the Road Haulage Association.